Hello and welcome back. It's great to see you here. Thanks for stopping by. We are taking a look at Reading Eggs, which is the upper elementary version of Reading Express, which is the upper elementary version of Reading Eggs. And this unit is on plants that bite back. Each map focuses sort of on one topic, so this would be nonfiction for map 10. When we look over at map 11, it's going to be a story called Baby Food. And so these lessons are going to go through different elements that would relate to this book, Baby Food. And so it sort of breaks up the longer text. And when we go to map 9, this is Dragon in the kitchen, dragon something or another in the kitchen. I can't see with all the dragons coming out. And so this map 9 would be fiction, nonfiction. Map 10 would be fiction. Map 11 would be fiction. So we're going to do lesson 46. This does go all the way up to 6th grade skills, and there's a spelling component and other things that really help to just hit all of those targets that might get a little bit more challenging as you get up into upper grades. So we're going to do lesson 46
Sequencing
here.
events.
There's
Events in a
220
nonfiction
lessons.
text happen in a certain order. Good readers work out the order that events happen. This is called sequencing events. Let's answer a question about a nonfiction book called Dinosaur Dig. This text explains how animals became fossils. Figure 1. The animal, in this case, an iguanodon, dies. Figure 2. The flesh rots away, leaving only the bones. The bones lie undisturbed, or they may be moved by animals or water. Figure 3. Sediments, fine soil, slowly cover the animal's remains. Over a long period of time, the sediments harden to become rock. Meanwhile, chemicals in the sediment enter the bones. Figure 4. The iguanodon's bones are now made up of minerals. These make the bones stronger, helping to preserve them. Erosion can expose the fossilized bones, or they lie deep within the ground, waiting to be found. What happens after sediments cover an animal's remains? The animal dies. The sediments harden into rock. The bones are moved by the water. The flesh rots away. I'll start with the question and find the key words. I think the word after is important. It's a time word and tells me when the event took place. I think the words sediments cover an animal's remains are also important. These words tell me the event I should look for. I can see them in the text. I have to read around these words to answer the question. Then, I can find out what happens after sediments cover an animal's remains. Sediments harden to become rock. This event happens after sediments cover an animal's remains. This must be the answer. Let's try something else. The pictures are numbered in the order that they happen. Match each picture to its explanation. Here are the explanations. Sediments cover the bones and hardens. The iguanodon dies. Minerals strengthen and preserve the bones. Flesh rots away, leaving just the bones. I know the first thing that happens is the animal dies. So I will match this picture with the answer. The iguanodon dies. I know the second thing that happens is the flesh rots away, leaving just the bones. I know the third thing that happens is sediments cover the bones and hardens. The fourth thing that happens is minerals strengthen and preserve the bones. Events in a nonfiction text happen in a certain order. Remember to look for clues like time words and numbered diagrams. This will help you become a great reader.
Okay.
Cover story. Look at the cover and answer the questions.
So this still has the really nice scroll down, so we know what is coming up. And there are 7 different activities, 7 different tasks that we will be doing for this. And so we're going to be moving on to number 2, which is cover story. The 5th is reading. 6 is a quiz, and then 7 is chapter reading, which would be for the map for the unit. So look at the cover and answer the questions. Here come the books that we will be looking at for today. Is this the cover for a fictional story poems, or a nonfiction factual text. Dinosaur Dig. It should be nonfiction. Look at the cover. What do you think about this? What do you think this book is about? A report about different types of dinosaurs, a book about finding dinosaur bones, an adventure story about digging for treasure, a fantasy story about dinosaurs that come back to life. Well, we see the bones, so I think this is a book about finding dinosaur bones. All right. So we're engaging in the learning as
Next.
we go through this, and we're thinking through...
Reading Express Dictionary. You will need to study one of these words.
I think it's cool that it gives you the option
Choose
to
a
study
word to
one
study.
word. Erosion, fossilized minerals, preserve, remains, sediment. So for this, choosing a word that you might not know is a very good thing to do. They talked about sediment, and so I think we're going to do fossilized.
Find the word in the dictionary.
So fossilized is an F, so that would be F through J. You have to do our alphabetical order, and then it's F.
Choose the correct word.
Fossilized is what we're looking for.
Fossilized. Preserved as rock by natural forces over a very long time.
So it's an adjective. The definition example, we found the fossilized remains of a fish. Fossilized is pronunciation. Synonyms would be mineralized. Word building, fossilizing would be a verb. Fossilization is a noun. The base word is fossil. Okay, let's click next.
Put these words into alphabetical order.
So now we're going to be, just like with our dictionary skills, practicing our dictionary skills, making sure these are in alphabetical order, which now they are. If you do need to do just A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, in order to just make sure that they are in order, that is a great thing to do until you feel confident, especially if you are a little unsure of alphabetical order when using a dictionary. Let's check our order. All right.
What part of speech is the word? Drag it into the correct box.
Remember, fossilized was an adjective.
Which sentence uses the word correctly?
So Oliver carefully picked up the fossilized dinosaur bone. That sounds right to me. All right. Well done. Well done. So now we're going to be moving on to number 4.
Again.
I find these lessons are very specific, very targeted, and that also
Sequencing
makes them a little
events.
shorter.
All events happen in a certain order. To recall the sequence of events helps you to understand what happened. In this activity, you will need to place events in the correct order.
A little shorter than Reading Eggs lessons.
It is always exciting to find fossilized bones. These bones once belonged to a live animal. After the animal died, its flesh rotted away, and fine soil gradually covered its remains.
Number these events in the correct order.
Okay, so an animal dies is 1. Its flesh rots away is 2. Soil covers its remains, and then someone discovers the fossilized bones. Okay, next.
Many dinosaur fossils have been found in Coma Bluff, Wyoming. Dinosaurs lived here in the Jurassic period. Chemicals in the soil entered the bones of dead dinosaurs, making the bones stronger and helping to preserve them.
Number these events in the correct order.
Okay, dinosaurs lived in the Jurassic period. The dinosaurs died. Soil covered their bones. Chemicals in the soil entered them. Okay. All right. And the quiz, when you get to the quiz, when you get to the reading, when you get to the unit test, those can be a little bit more challenging. But
Next.
this part is much more focused than Reading Eggs, which is appropriate for later elementary. So we're reading Dinosaur Dig now.
Dinosaur dig.
There is still a read to me that you can turn on, which is fantastic.
Dinosaur Kingdom, Dinosaur Graveyard. Como Bluff, Wyoming can be a tough place. The summers are hot and the winters are wild. Dinosaurs lived here in the Jurassic period. Many dinosaurs were preserved here. How animals become fossils. Figure 1. The animal, in this case an iguanodon, dies. Figure 2. The flesh rots away, leaving only the bones. The bones lie undisturbed, or they may be moved by animals or water. Figure 3. Sediments, fine soil, slowly cover the animal's remains. Over a long period of time, the sediments harden to become rock. Meanwhile, chemicals in the sediment enter the bones. Figure 4. The iguanodon's bones are now made up of minerals. These make the bones stronger, helping to preserve them. Erosion can expose the fossilized bones, or they lie deep within the ground, waiting to be found.
All right. So we are now on the quiz right now, and then we'll have our chapter reading after that. Okay, so read the text, then answer the questions. Dinosaur Kingdom, Dinosaur Graveyard. Como Bluff, Wyoming can be a tough place. The summers are hot and the winters are wild. What is the first paragraph called? The first paragraph would be called the introduction. Conclusion happens at the end. Bullet points are just ... Where is this set? It's set in Como Bluff, Wyoming. So that is the setting. Jurassic Park would be pretty cool too, huh? When did the dinosaurs live in Como Bluff? So here we have dinosaurs lived here in the Jurassic period. Many dinosaurs were preserved here. So reading, if you get to a question you don't know, come back. The text is on the left side. Sometimes it changes. So the Jurassic period is when dinosaurs lived there. When was the Jurassic period? It was not 20 years ago, not 100 years ago, but 140 million years ago. A very long time ago. Very, very long time ago. Okay, so here we have figure number 2, which is what we're going to be looking at to answer this question. The flesh rots away, leaving only the bones. The bones lie undisturbed, or they may be moved by animals or water. What is another word for rots? So preserves would be the opposite. That would be an antonym. Digs would just be digging in the ground, or the act of dig to find something. Discovers would be to find something. Spoils means rots. So let's submit our answer. Those would be synonyms. Okay. What is the root word of slowly? Well, ly would be the suffix. Slow would be our root. All right. I like the pleasant sounds that it makes. What is the opposite of stronger? If you're not getting stronger, you are getting weaker. If you're not, just staying the same, maintaining. Okay, we have 3 more questions, 8, 9, and then 10. Why don't the bones rot away? They are made strong by minerals in the soil. Why is it so hard to find dinosaur bones? They are a sandy color. They are mostly underwater. Most have been found already. They are deep underground. I would say they are deep underground, but I think some of them rot away, or, just break into dust and get chewed up. Little insects eat them up, and other things like that. So this is drag the sentences into the correct order. So we have practiced this several times. So we know that the animal dies first, and then after that, the flesh needs to rot off. And then soil covers the bones, and then chemicals in the soil make the bones strong. All right. And so that is 100% for our quiz. We did great. We can collect a trading card. So you get trading cards for this, which are pretty cool and exciting. And that sort of mirrors the eggs that you get for the reading eggs and the little creatures that hop out of the eggs that you get. Okay, so you can choose Fantastica, Beastie, Animalia, Astrotech, Starstruck, or World Span. Let's go ahead and do a Beastie. Let's see what a Beastie is like. We get a Nereid. The 50 known Nereids are sea nymphs, and they are all sisters. They live in a silvery cave in the Aegean Sea and ride dolphins to the rescue of sailors during storms. All right, so that's Team Sea Creatures. Has 300 electric power. Very cool. Let's go ahead and close that. To open the special features on the map, read a chapter of the book. Plants that bite back. We're going to read this now.
Plants that bite back. Trapped. Plants can't walk, but they can set traps. Imagine being invited to dinner and ending up as the food. This is what happens to insects that try to feed on plants that eat meat. Insect takeaway. An insect looking for food lands on a Venus flytrap. As the insect moves, it brushes against small trigger hairs. If it touches 3 hairs, it's trapped. The trap closes tighter and tighter on the insect. Then the plant eats it. Venus flytraps live in swamps and bogs where the soil is poor. To get enough food, they must feed on the meat of animals. Plants like the Venus flytrap that feed on meat are called carnivorous plants. Drop in for a meal. Many plants and insects help each other. When an insect takes a drop of nectar from a plant, the insect gets pollen on its body. Some of this pollen brushes off onto the next plant the insect visits. This helps the plant grow new seeds. Insects that explore the pitcher plant are not so lucky. An insect comes over to taste the nectar. One slip and it falls down the pitcher plant's slippery slope and is trapped. The insect drowns in a pool of juices. It is now a meal for the plant. A sticky death. The sundew is a beautiful-looking plant. Its leaves shine in the sun. Each leaf has hundreds of tentacles. Each tentacle has a drop of sticky liquid on the end. What looks like sweet nectar is really very sticky glue that won't let go. Insects are attracted to drink the nectar, and then they stick around and die. As an insect struggles to get free, the sticky tentacles wrap around its body. Now the plant begins to eat the insect's juicy flesh.
Okay, it's quiz time now, so let's go ahead and start this.
How does a pitcher plant kill a visiting insect?
By squeezing it until it suffocates, by wrapping poisonous tentacles around its body, by drowning in a pool of juices, by injecting it with venom. The pitcher holds the juices, so it drowns it. And let's see the next one.
What will happen to an insect that lands on a sundew?
It will be stung by the poisonous tentacles. It will trigger the plant to clamp shut. It will drown in a pool of juices. It will get stuck on sticky liquid. I'm going to say it will get stuck on sticky liquid at the end of the tentacles, but it might be the poisonous tentacles. Let me go ahead and move this around. Okay, so the sticky tentacles wrap around. It doesn't say anything about stinging, the tentacles stinging. So I'm going to say stuck. Awesome.
One of the headings in this chapter is Drop in for a meal. Who eats the meal?
Drop in for a meal. I think that's for the pitcher plants. I think the pitcher plant insects drop into it. So I'm going to say the pitcher plant. I do not remember, though. Awesome.
What is the main purpose of this chapter?
To describe what carnivorous plants look like, to show readers how to grow a carnivorous plant, to discuss what insects eat, to explain how carnivorous plants trap their food. So there are descriptions, but that doesn't seem to be the main part of it. We don't learn how to grow them, what types of soil, what types of pH, so this one, it makes sense. And we're not talking about what the insects eat, we're talking about the plants that eat insects. And so it's really about carnivorous plants and the different ways that they have adapted to trap their food. Awesome.
Which of the following words from the text cannot be used as both a noun and a verb?
So I can order a drink. I can drink that drink. There can be a drop of liquid that I dropped on the floor. There can be help that I get, or I can help someone. Begin. You begin a task, but you can't have a begin. You need to have a beginning to the story. So begin, you cannot do both with.
Won't is made up of which two words?
Won't is will not. Will not. All right, we got 100%. So we got some golden eggs. We can do a reward now, and we get another one. We did a beastie. Let's go ahead and check out Animalia and see what we get here. The thylacine. All right, so known as the Tasmanian tiger because of its striped back, this carnivorous marsupial was native to Australia and New Guinea. The last animal died in a zoo in 1936. So it's extinct, which is awful. There are 2 out of 8, so there are 8 on Team Extinct. And hopefully we're able to go ahead and provide the environment for other animals to not suffer the thylacine's fate. Okay, so this is Reading Express. It's a really cool program, great for upper elementary. I find it quite interesting. A couple lessons a week will do ya. I want to say each grade level is targeted at about 40 lessons, with 1 to 20 being first grade, 21 to 60 being second grade, 60 to 100 being third grade, and on up until you get to lesson 220. There's a ton of content in here, very age appropriate. When we go home, there's also some more competitive areas like the stadium where you can go ahead and score and rank up different things. There is a trophy room for the different stuff. There are targets as well for what you should be working towards. So get a pet, get 5 pets, get 20 pets, read 100 books in the library for going stratospheric. And so it'll tell you the ones that you hit. So shop, I completed a lesson. For taking flight, I need to complete a whole bunch more in order to get gliding, and they'll move up as you do it. So for upper elementary students, there's more elements that would be much more entertaining and interesting for them. So be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, and I hope this was helpful if you are thinking about starting the Reading Express journey. It is a really, really great program, covers so many different skills for nonfiction and fiction texts. And so yeah, have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.